Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to Night After Night, a podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I am Lisa Fernandes, and
I am Christopher Jayawardena. Hello.
And we are about to review Guilty Until Proven Not Innocent, which is from Season 2 of Laverne and Shirley. Directed by sitcom king James Burrows, and written by our good friend there, Bo Capral and Bob Sands. And I'm sure you've got some facts about them, don't you, Chris?
This time, not really so much, just because, these guys are pretty much the same old crew that have been around for quite a bit. Burrows has been directing most of Season 2 so far, and, this is an absolute legend of a director, and then Bob Sand and Bo Capral are just, this is, I think this is their second episode. I'm going to double check that.
Yes. They did 2 of our widows are missing.
But yeah, so this is unfortunately not as much to report in as much this time around, just because, we're getting into a nice kind of groove where like the same crew is just kind of coming back in and doing stuff. And what's kind of good is you get to see they're sort of experimenting a little bit. They're getting to try on different little aspects. Like this one, as we're going to find out, is definitely more vaudevillian, even in in terms of the writing. So it's going to be. It's gonna be a good time. We get to see a kind of a different angle that these writers and director are able to do. I'm still amazed that Burrows also did Look Before You Leap, and then ends up doing does so many of the comedic ones, and yet also has like the most pathos in that season as well. So it's good stuff.
Beautiful episode. I still love that episode. Still my favorite episode.
And this is what this episode is about.
With Carmen and Frank off to see a Packers game, the girls are off to shop for a dress for Laverne to wear to the policeman's ball. A trip to a fancy department store to check up on the newest styles results in snobbery, and Laverne being arrested and accused of shoplifting a scarf, which she accidentally picked up during the trip. Shirley's desperate to get Laverne out, but her options for getting her best friend's bail together, which happens to be $500, are slim, unless she can get the store's clerk to vouch for Laverne's innocence. What do you think of this one?
This one was one of my favorites so far of the season. There is so much good dialogue. I'm not usually a fan of these. I know that's a phrase. I'm usually not a fan of these very like sitcom-y, they get put in jail kind of episodes. But God, the dialogue is so cute, and the characters are so lovable. There was a lot to love about this, because you have the snooty manager, you've got the folks in the jail, you've got the cops, you have a lot of Norman in this one. It's all around really. It's jam-packed, and I watched, as I often do, I watch this one with my mom, and she really liked this one in particular too.
I love that your mom liked it. I used to watch the show with my mother when she was alive, and it was like a special bonding point for us. And I don't think this is her. I can't remember what her favorite episode was. I'm pretty sure that it was Dinner for Four, which is coming up later in the series. But this is right around a little bit higher than mid-level for me, because of the way the character interactions work out and how hard everyone is trying to pull together to get Laverne the heck out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
And poor Shirley just being at the end of her rope. One of the best scenes in this season, I'm going to say, is her sitting there on her butt, drunk on cooking sherry, next to Edna. Edna's playing her saxophone, and the two of them are just wailing the blues, drunk out of their minds, trying to deal with the situation.
Yeah, I have my notes of, it's Edna with the sax? What is this? I also love the line I think they kind of got by the censors, where Edna says, "The spirit is willing, but the lip is limp."
I love that scene when the boys come in, and Shirley just shrieks, "It's the devil in Hoot Gibson!"
I thought it was the Lone Ranger.
I love that. Oh, that's great. That is great dialogue. You pointed up the dialogue here, and you should, because the dialogue here is really good. My favorite line was, "Us two girls would buy dresses here if we was rich and naked."
Yeah, that's a great one too.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And Louis Nye as the manager, just completely owns the scenes that he's in, as the snoot face. And I love that, it's the this and this and this and get out of here, it's it's so good. It's so good. There are again, this is one of those ones of layers of little aspects to it, but there's always, it's kind of cool to find out what people's favorite parts are, because it's a I mean, you've got these big broad bits of comedy, like the when Laverne's getting dragged away and she grabs the mannequin and it snaps in half, and she's like, I broke the lady, and Shirley's making a big scene and smacking the manager with her purse, and then you've got like the little the just the little touches, like there's that really good line from Norm. I'm trying to find this in my notes, where it's there it is, talking about, it's like, I can't, what is it? Yeah, the public, it's not about the public defender, it's about the lawyer. And it's like, why can't you arrest the lawyer? And he says, I can't, I'm afraid, and that's so Norm too.
Yeah, Norman is so cute in this particular episode. He's really excited about Laverne using him as her first call. That was your first call? Mm-hmm. He was so excited. Their relationship is adorable. Sadly, it's going to be... I forget when it's going to be ending. I know it's going to be ending. Sadly, it's not end canon. I'm pretty sure it's happened somewhere around season 2 or somewhere around the end of season 2, somewhere in the middle of season 3, because she starts dating other guys. But yeah, their relationship is the cutest in this episode, and he has some great lines. It's got a lot of great lines. I was gonna say,
I mean, I'm just gonna quickly say it helps when the actor playing him is also one of the writers.
Yeah. He knows how to write for himself, but he knows how to write for everybody else. Because honestly, as much as Penny and Cindy both equally get a lot of fun things to do in this episode. Laverne has that great scene at the police lineup where she never knows when her proper cue is to step forward and say something. She has a great scene where she's like trying to talk to Shirley between the bars and saying stuff like, one of these girls cut up her husband and said it was a suicide.
I love that. Oh, that's so good. And I love they call that back when it's like, all right, guys, I'm getting out. I'm going to help everybody else get out, except for maybe not you. I don't know about you yet.
And for as much as she gets to do, Cindy gets to do just about as much as Shirley here, between her drunken flailings and running around trying to get her friend justice and using the boys to try to get justice. And the boys are trying in their own way and failing. But hey, they're trying. At least this time they're trying to help in some way.
They're so going to hell for that lie. My God, trick-or-treating for UNICEF out of season.
And they only got what? Ooh, how was it? 50 cents? I can't remember how much money they got.
I think it was like $4 or something.
$4, yeah. Oh, boys. Well, we'll get to see them go to hell later in the series, but it's coming.
Oh, God. That's great. But yeah, no, there's some wonderful details. I mean, even the folks in the lineup scene is great. I love the God, I can't remember. There's a line that the cop says about, it's like, this is the part I hate about the job, or I always forget how much I hate this part. The whole lineups. I mean, actually, I have the note. Actually, I keep forgetting this, but for some reason, the lineup scene. A lot of people will make it's the sad tragic tale of Katie Soze, but but my note is actually for some reason it reminds me of the lineup scene from Le Samurai. Alain Delon, the Melville films. I don't know why he does that for me, but yeah.
It's much funnier.
But there's tons of fun in there, and I love the gals in the prison. The Tony, the Baba Rao, who is great as Tony. It's like, that's my favorite cup, DeFazio. It's a lovely cup. It's a wonderful cup. And it was cool to look up that actor, the actor who plays Tony. She was also in Daughter of the Dust, which I'm glad I found out about. It's a film from the 90s about the Gula culture off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina.
Hey, I didn't know she was in that.
Yeah, so I'm like, and she was like one of the leads, it looks like. So I'm curious to see that now. And then also,
you guys see that movie? It's incredible. I had no idea. I did not put 2 and 2 together. And wow. Oh,
but and then I also was telling you earlier that she also has a bit part as one of the technicians in Demon Seed, which I still haven't seen that either, which I need to. If only for the fact I want to find out how the hell Donald Cammell went from doing Performance with Nicholas Roeg and Mick Jagger, and then goes off to doing Demon Seed, the robot woman relationship movie, if you could call it that. Oh boy.
After heart beeps, anything was possible.
But
Anyway.
but yeah, there's oh gosh, yeah, and even like Marilyn Redfield, the gas station robber, who actually does get caught, and is almost kind of proud when she gets caught, and it's like that's the one, you're going away for a long time, and Laverne passes her the underwear. It's like, here, you're gonna need this.
That's good. That was a good line. Line.
And the girls themselves, I love the dedication this episode shows between Laverne and Shirley to each other, and especially for Shirley for Laverne. It's we've seen so much Shirley go out of her way to do things for other people. She's this real bleeding heart, save the world type of person.
Yeah.
And I feel it really paid off nicely in this episode. It's and even though she is a little spiteful, it's like, at the end when it's like she still wants to finish her poker game, but it's she's so, the worry is very genuine, and the way when Laverne finally is freed. Of course she's free because no I don't think I need to put a spoiler alert about that, but that she says she was thanks, you were really looking out for me, and I was really scared there. It's like, that was like, it was good.
Yeah, the way the girls love each other is the fulcrum of the show. That's why season 8 sucks, but we'll get to season 8. We also have another prison episode coming in season 8. We'll get to that later. But without the central relationship driving the show doesn't work. And actually, it either has to be the central relationship between the two girls, or it has to be the central relationship between the two guys, between Lennon and Squiggy. You either got to have one or you got to have the other to make the show work, honestly. There are very few episodes where you'll center the action on Frank, for instance, or center the action on Carmine, and it'll work. There are a few episodes out there in the future that we're going to see that do that, but by the time season 8 happens, we'll see, and it really does need these two pairings to kind of make it spark up. And I think Penny Marshall herself in an interview said that Laverne would do anything for Shirley, Shirley would do anything for Laverne, and that's what makes the world go around, their world go around.
Yeah, I totally see that. Yeah.
That's just it. That's the show.
Yeah, that is the show.
I love Sorry, go ahead.
Please go ahead.
I love that Shirley is sitting there in this department store, this fancy department store. They have to go to Woolworths to actually get the outfit for Laverne. She's in this fancy department store going, we're going to come back here someday, we're not going to look at the labels. We're not going to look at the price tags. And that's just Shirley to a T. That's just Shirley to a T. This is what she sees in the future. And she's the two of them, and it's not just her, it's the two of them together.
Right. And I'm trying to remember. I know there's either an episode that's happened or is coming up where the Laverne starts to say, is about to say, does your balloon ever land? And then she stops herself and goes, sort of like, yeah, it never does. Sort of like she's getting to the point of accepting that Shirley is going to dream. She's going to be in the department store, in a clothing department and do that and say those things.
That's coming up. That's Honeymoon Hotel.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of the boutique itself, that is the most sitcom-y dress boutique that I've ever seen. And I also have the note that my mom loved the thriftiness of them going in, finding the things they like, and then trying to get basically the same thing at the at a much cheaper place.
Yeah, the dollar store. Woolworths was a dollar store. I don't think there's any and exists the same one except in Canada. I think. Correct us on this, viewers, if we're wrong. But I think. That's true.
But yeah, it's exactly though. But getting back to the heart of it, their interactions is so genuine. That was good, and that was actually what I was going to bring up. I love the whole trying to find a dress for the policeman's ball, that. It's definitely Shirley in a bit of her well, we got to get you in this, we got to get you in that, and she's trying to kind of control the narrative, control the story. She's trying to control those aspects, but yet there's a sweetness of, you have a special night coming up with your date with your boyfriend, on and off boyfriend, and I want to make this good for you. And I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, she's just trying to kind of sets, the scene for her. She's trying to dream for Laverne. Laverne doesn't dream. Laverne looks at herself and sees how she looks in yellow. Yellow makes me look fat. And Shirley's like, no, I don't see that at all. And that's the friendship. That's them. That's just them.
Well,
That's the way they are.
actually, I have my note. I'm not meaning to contradict. It's just I do have the yellow makes me look fat, and she goes, yeah, that way up against up against Norman, you'll make him look. You make him up against Norman, he'll look normal. And I love that Laverne immediately is like, I hate when you say that. He's got big stomach bones,
He's not fat. He's got big stomach bones.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually right. But she'll be truthful, but she's also kind of pushing her up to the Cinderella dream. We get some of that in season 3. There's a great episode coming in season 3 that is going to very much highlight this. And when we get there, we will get there. And it's going to be great, is all I'm going to say. Because it's basically Cinderella on a go-go.
Oh, boy. Wait, Cinderella with go-go boots?
That actually happens in season 6, but anyway. I thought it was interesting to see Laverne's, toughness. She's this tough girl who can beat the hell out of anybody, but her toughness is put to the absolute test by being in prison here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of, stretched to the limit in a few ways. And I thought that was an interesting aspect because, we see her at the absolute acme of being the toughest person in the show, and yet that becomes rather subverted when she's in this prison with all these women who have killed and will kill again.
Well, and not only that, I mean, there's tough, and then there's eats powdered fish tough.
There's cut up your husband tough.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, I mean, God, hacking up a human body that takes work. We watch horror movies. We know. We've seen it.
You ran into my knife. I can't remember how many times.
That's another one I still haven't seen that.
You haven't seen Chicago? How have you not seen Chicago?
My parents loved it too, so it's I don't have an excuse.
Tisk.
I just need to get around to it.
Tisk.
But exactly though, yeah, it's interesting though to see the toughness, and I think that's actually what I love about the goofiness in Laverne dealing with it, because it's like it's not necessarily that she's out of her element per se, just because and I say that because it is tested, but it's a case of she has her own toughness, her own scraps. There are even, I wouldn't doubt there's one or more of those women in that room. If she was in one-on-one fight, that she'd probably come out on top. Yeah. And it's just a case of it's the perception of that, and that I found was interesting of how and I feel like that's the conclusion's point when she has to finish her poker game with the cigarettes, is that it's not that she's just become accepted. She's finally accepted herself as part of that. That she adapted. She's adapted to realizing, oh, okay, I'm just I'm tough. I could do this. Yeah. But
eventually she kind of gets there. Eventually she's like, yeah, I could hack this if I need to hack this.
Right. But that being said, they are people that don't understand cute, and you got to put Boo Boo Kitty away. Put it in the bag. Yeah. Put it in the bag. Put it in the bag.
I was gonna say that for all of her toughness, there's a softness, and for all of her softness, there's a toughness. She's just variety. In a human form, she is variety. And Shirley's toughness rarely comes out, and it comes out less and less as the show goes on, sadly. But she's got her little bit of toughness, too, dragging Snoop face down and basically blackmailing him into letting Laverne go. Which is damn gutsy of her, considering she could end up in jail, too. Mm-hmm. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, with Shirley's whole reaction, or I should say, her finally standing up to the Carlisle's manager, Mr. Clark is his name.
Yes.
Yeah. See, so my mom really loved that, and it was applauding and shouting, "Yeah, you go, girl!" at the threat of going to the news, because when I was a kid, this was like 15 years ago now. No, sorry, 25 years ago. Oh boy, wow. That just was a reminder. there was a car dealership. I don't know if they're still around in Portland, in the Portland area, but we were trying to get it. We had to get a new car because the previous one had gotten totaled. My mom was in an accident, and
geez.
and so obviously this is part of our story, my parents' story of saying, this is why we need a new car. And this dealership tried to screw us over. And my mom had to pull the thread of, we're going to go to the news if you don't do the deal that you promised, because you're trying to renege on the deal that you offered us at the dealership. We're not going to take this crap.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, and that's what I loved about the conclusion as well about Shirley, about her standing up to him, is that certainly he is in a position where he could overwhelm her and use that as a way to even get her stuck, and trapped, because basically, because of it being that class struggle, he's the one in power. Yeah. But it's like her tenacity, will not go unexpressed.
Yeah.
That. So yeah, no, yeah. I love that ending.
Same, absolutely same.
Actually, here's my note. And Shirley, fuck yeah, rip that toupee off that moron's fucking noggin.
Beautiful. That's the show in a nutshell sometimes. Yeah. Kick the asshole in the face. Just remember, it's a show in a nutshell. A lot.
Mm-hmm. And chant snoot face at them to the point that even the actor is stomping along in time with them.
Didn't he say something like, "My mother thinks I'm a delight" or something like that?
Oh, it's I have friends, friends, and do you know something? They love me.
They love me. That's the line.
Whatever, you clod.
Yeah. Well, he does smoke the lining of Laverne's grandmother's purse, so.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah.
We're gonna get to meet Laverne's grandmother eventually. We'll get there.
Oh wow.
We get there. This is a really great episode. Season 4. Yeah. I was going to say, the girl's car is already falling apart, so how much of a lemon did Lucille give them here?
Oh, I'm sure it's pretty bad. I mean, this is we're not even, we're getting close to about halfway through the season, I think, episode count. And they got it in the first episode of season 2, so oh man. I'm willing to bet it's a case of, it's a car that, like, she was dying to get rid of, and she was trying to find some poor sap to hoist it off on. Yeah. And that's the only reason Carmine was able to get that deal. Because this is why I keep asking, why is it there are times that Lucille will do like a favor for them? And I have this feeling that there's like some ulterior motive. It's not just that it makes Carmine happy and she wants Carmine to be happy enough to stay with her. I feel like Lucille has some, I don't know, just there's some passive aggressive, histrionics involved here.
Yeah, there's got to be something afoot. We don't really get to find out what happens, why they break up when they break up, I think. I can't remember how it happens, but it does happen. Deeper on.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that just reminded me though about Frank and Carmine going off to the thing. So I have two notes. First is a question. So Carmine set them up with dates. So we're getting, close to where things are going to be like, Carmine, how do you know these things? How do you know these people, these situations? And my thought was like lined up dates, and I'm like, wait. Is Carmine a pimp now?
Oh God. He made no pimps, but I don't think he went full pimp. He made pimps. He knows people who fence stuff. He knows somebody who can give you an abortion. That comes up later in the season. But I don't think he went that far. I don't think he'd go that far.
Okay. That's good to know. Because that make me, number one, that would be a point of like, Shirley, please, just pair of scissors. There's this movie called The Fourth Man by Paul Verhoeven I can introduce you to for reference. Pair of scissors. Just saying. Other thing I was also going to say was Packers! There we go.
Packers won the Super Bowl!
Packers! Honey, Packers won the Super Bowl! Woo! Oh, man.
But Packers!
Yeah, sorry. The Mystery Science Theater fans are hopefully happy with us making sure we did not let a reference to them go by without that.
Hey, lifelong Misties are gonna lifelong Misty. And
but yeah, it's a but yeah, no, overall, I mean, this was a great episode. I mean, it's great that it hits on all the cylinders of, it's got the class element, it's got these
Yeah.
wonderful like screwball set pieces, it has some amazing one-liners, great comedic performances for both the regulars and the guest characters, as a regular recurring, that is, so like Edna
Yeah.
and Norman in this case. And it has, yeah, it's like when I think of like every scene, perfect's maybe a bit much, but it's really good,
Yeah.
and I really want to especially point out Louis Nye as Mr. Clark, the manager. I mean, this, and what's amazing is, he was even in a few episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm before he passed away at the age of 92.
Wow.
So I mean, this guy was working, and he
Yeah.
never really stopped. And he was Sonny Drysdale on the Beverly Hillbillies. He was
Yeah.
even in some episodes of Inspector Gadget.
No way.
So like Go Gadget TV gig.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool, though.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is like there's, when you get that kind of talent in the episode and you give them good material to work with, I mean, you get to see it in action. That's kind of what I feel like here. Is like it's I mean, it's not like I'm necessarily meaning God, I don't know. It's like part of me is like, do I keep going or do I keep discussing any of this, because it's a darn good episode.
It's good. It's a good episode. You had fun watching it.
Exactly.
The only real thing I was going to throw in extra was that Laverne's time in jail, according to Shirley, had turned her into a skillful liar with her father.
Oh my God, yes, that is in my notes here. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
I love that tag scene where they warned him what it was going to be like.
Yes, with the
But
car. Yeah.
He did not
Fix it.
fix it. And the fact that he and Carmine just decided to go off this game together, I don't know how the heck two of them end up going, yeah, let's go do this. I think because after the My Fair Lady incident, no way would he be alone with Lonnie and Squiggy. Is the only guess I can make there.
Right. And it might be because they had fun, but, Frank was probably kind of like, I'm traumatized for life.
Oh, Frank, if only you knew, man. If only you knew.
But yeah, the tag scene, but that's a good point though. Even the tag scene works. It's a small little beat, but it's perfect.
Yes, it
And
does.
yeah, and I love that it's like, it's not, I know, Pop, I know, I'll find a husband, don't worry there. And even that, so what did you guys do? You look rested.
Oh, we didn't do
man.
anything. That's why the skillful liar part comes in.
Yep. Yeah, you can't let Pop know. I mean, he'll flip, to put it mildly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can see that in the future too. But yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, so okay, where are we ranking this one around?
Man, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go with the Fellini approach and say 8.5.
Oh. For me it's just it's around there. It's around 7. All the dialogue clicks together. The scenario works together. The ultimate "hey you, up yours," the end works together. Everything hangs together beautifully. It's just not one of the ones that really pops for me when it comes to. Actually, I think I might actually kick it up to an 8. I think I'm gonna kick it up to an 8 too, because it really does work, and it works as a comedic episode, and it works as a character piece. It's not like my absolute favorite episodes, but it's up there. It's a good episode. It's a good watchable episode.
Yeah, at the very least. I'm sorry. Please go on.
No, I was done.
Oh, okay. I was so I was just a little bit early and realized, oh no, wait. Oh, okay. No, it's okay. Yeah, this is the problem with doing these shows over with a bit of an internet connection, and we're not face to face, so we can't read each other's body language.
Yeah. We'll be able to hear each other if we were in the same room, but
right, exactly. We have to act a little bit, this performance here. I think also at the very least for me it's one of my favorites for the season that I've seen so far. Like it's one of the stronger comedic episodes for me for this year.
Yeah. Comedically, it's way up there. We got another one coming that's way up there, I think, in my little personal opinion, but we'll get to that. It's coming. It's coming, kids. It's coming.
Cool.
Did you miss anything that you wanted to talk about?
I'm just, let me just double check. I think I mean I have a Jarvis Cocker reference, which is about saying the
go for
creme de la the creme de la creme at the department store to well, to that I say shit floats. Yeah, you know where I was going with that one.
Yeah. Damn.
But cool. Yeah, I think that that covers all the stuff I wanted to cover. It was a darn good episode.
Darn good, darn well worth watching, darn well worth your time.
Yeah.
There's your vote.
All right.
All
So I
right.
guess if that if wraps everything up, I guess well, thank you again for joining us, everybody. And if you would like to know more, please join us on the social media. We can be found at Night After Night PC on Twitter. We are also Night After Night Pod on most other services, including Tumblr, Facebook, and WordPress. And, send us an email at nightafternightpod@gmail.com for comments, questions, or, any sort of things like that. We also have a Patreon if you would like to support the show, give us a little love, and help us to get to some of our goals so that we can support doing some special episodes maybe in the future. Might be a good time. But, yeah, I think if that's... is that it? So what do you have next? I think we kind of have a different type of episode next.
Next week, it's the show's only clip show. It's the only time we get a lot of flashbacks except for when they move from Wisconsin to California. When we get a nice little montage. It's called the anniversary show or the Laverne and Shirley birthday show. It's got a fun little wraparound and a lot of good clips.
Cool. All right. Well, that's gonna be a good time, and so I guess hope everyone joined us for that, and just be good to each other, be good to everybody, and just have yourself a nice day. Oh, and one other thing is to don't be a snoot face. That's kind of the moral of the story.
Avoid being snoot faced. Don't snoot. Give a hoot. Don't snoot.
Yes, boop the snoots. Don't be a snoot to others.
Bye now.